I surfed for the first time ever in a shorty.
Welcome to the Insiders. We're on the cusp. We're on the eve of J Bay, Matt. But I've just got one thing I want to get off my chest.
Go for it.
Fucking, when you turn your computer on, and the last time you had it on, there was all sorts of rigmarole going on. So it's just like windows popping up all over the place. I think it was because our electricity went down. 100 windows, the spinning coloured wheel, all sorts of shit. Nothing loads up. Like in this world of computer geeks on every corner of every street, don't you think they can do something about that? Come up with a software which is just like turn on and start software. Turn on and start. TOAS. Toast.
Toast.
Toast. How are you, Matty?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I saw that you got the dreaded death wheel.
Death wheel. Coloured one after that.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like the resuscitation
Like
wheel.
Fairy floss
Yeah.
roller coaster.
But I'm good. Yeah, I had a good weekend. Managed to get some surfing, which was fun. I surfed for the first time ever in a shorty. My need essentials,
Ooh.
short leg, so sick. I mean, I absolutely fried my knees again. You know, when you're not used to having your knees on
Oh,
your
the fried knees.
But it was sick, like reef breaking barely anyone out, and had a lot of fun. So I'm good.
While we're on a blatant need essentials flog, I got a new pair of nude feeling board shorts. Like, the material's that soft and supple and silky. It's nude. But haven't surfed in them yet. So we'll just hold back on the
When
Need essentials triple bonus triple A rating until we see how they handle under the old salt water.
when you wear them normally, do you have to quickly keep double checking that you've actually got shorts on?
Kind of, maybe. I'll probably wear lycras underneath. I just don't like the feeling of the old fella with unlimited friction action with the board shorts. I mean, some people obviously like it, but they're silly. You
Oh
need
fuck.
some sort of tight fitting undergarment that keeps all the tackle in spot and reduces potential rash occurring.
Needed. Yeah. Like my knees are rashed up, so you don't
I
want that. You
had
don't
it,
want that in
mate.
your old boy.
I had a mate on a trip to Byron Bay. We did the Byron Bay. That was when we had the old keep the car clean tour, which basically meant just dump every shit out the window. This was pre-environmental actions. And Kelky, he couldn't walk, man. He couldn't walk. He couldn't go
Oh no.
surfing. I'm probably sure he couldn't walk. He's just walking around. We called it the dreaded boing.
Yeah. Got
So
wallop.
boys aren't going to get boing in J Bay, mate.
Oh, have you
Or
seen?
are they?
Before we talk about anything else, I have to talk to you about. Have you seen that video of John John? Actually, I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yes, yes, yes.
Holy smokes! If I'm a competitor and I see that, I just don't bother.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
went as far to say to Bradley, the old Tasmanian devil, that in the middle of an Instagram message off we had, that if he surfs like that, I don't think even Ethan can touch him.
Nah,
But we'll see. That looked untouchable, didn't it?
that was mind blowing. And it's what's weird. The board geek in me is that he's back on the ghost. Even in Rio, like we'll brush over Rio. It was boring.
I didn't even bother
But
looking at what board he is. I don't think it matters what board John John's on in waves like that.
he was on his ghost, and he's just. I don't know if it's just a placebo thing or whether he's just dialed it in so much. But when he's on that board, he's just unbelievable. Like he's
But it
by.
could be any single alteration and modification of his original ghost or whatever. He's just on a good board in absolute good waves. And anyone in the world who surfs knows that he's untouchable.
Yeah, how good is it to see him a little bit like you could kind of see like that they haven't got a knee-high beach break to go and surf. They've actually got a proper wave.
It's the best wave on tour. Matty, back
I want to
in
go there.
the old factory Euroglass days, Lucky Pelly was always away, like at the comp. It was a stop work day for me.
Yeah.
Stop work. Yeah, we had stuff to ship. I just wouldn't ship. We'd have me. We'd have me and Pipsy and Bradley in there because I'd be calling them. I'd be going, oh, yeah, there's the heat going on. And like a couple of the freaks that worked for us in the surfboard factory, they didn't care about surfing. They'd come in, one guy come in going, we didn't care. They just watch heats all dark. So one time it used to absolutely drive me, and we'll see because I'm going to be busy. But if it's cooking, I can't do anything else. And then I feel guilty for not surfing.
Yeah, it's my favorite event on tour. I kind of like down tools for it. I'll try and I do the thing at work where I'll put the commentary on and pretend that I'm going to do an email, and then suddenly you hear the commentary be like, "Oh, here's John taking off," and you like switch over, and then you're like, "Yeah," like end up watching all day of it, and you're like, "I've got loads to do now." But
I still remember when they started coming up with live scoring, man, and we and my mate Justin we were watching it at Quickie, and there was just live scoring, and we had that going. And Mick got a 10 on his first wave, I think, in the final the year he won.
Yeah,
or maybe it was a high 9 or something. And that was like, and that was even worse because you were just imagining what they were doing.
Yeah, I was going to say it's weird that like you'd have the score and not know what they actually done. It kind of like that was the other day actually. Jay Phipps got a 10 in his heat, and I saw it.
I saw that. Was that just 2 turns?
Yeah, and I messaged.
I love Jay. I thought it was a bit overcooked, Jay. If you're listening,
I didn't. I was giving it 10s all the way, but I messaged him and was like barrel ? And he was like, nah, 2 big turns. And it's funny because he's just like when you don't know what happened or what went down, you've got a different vision in your head. Before we go Before we go into J Bay and just mention Jay.
I think nothing else matters, Matt. Let's just go into it.
No, I need to mention this. Jay's little mate, Axel, I think his name's Axel Dominguez, and I'm sorry if I've butchered that. He's my new favorite surfer to watch on Instagram. The kid gets barreled every day. Like he does like just POV like footage. He's froths out. He's like, he deserves a mention. I absolutely love his Instagram. So yeah, moving on to J Bay.
Okay, while you're on that, I surfed this morning. I surfed my new 20, my 6.5, 6.5.5, 20, and the waves were good. But I'd surfed this bank a couple of times. I got one good wave on it, and it was being crowded and everything. And I thought I'll go back there. We're talking like I went for an French early, which was meant I got up at 6:15, and took an hour to wake up properly, which I always do. Had my coffee, did a bit of stretching, actually walked on the grass, went down to this spot, got there. It was packed with cars, walked over the hill. There were 60 guys in the lineup across 2 banks. There's people telling me they're in the water at 5:30. So anyway, I'm out there and I'm like, I try to surf the right, which was lame. So I switched back to the left. Kind of took off on one. I'm on a 20, so I was still worried about how it's going to go backside. And then I kind of get an average one. And then I see this guy on the next wave do a big turn, kind of a little turn, and then finish it off with a closeout turn. I'm thinking that board's really like white, looks like an epoxy. Oh, he's got a pretty good style. And I go, it's Jeremy. It was Jeremy Flores.
No way.
Yeah. So and he sees me, and I go, I have a chat with us. I was thinking you had a good style, and he goes, "Oh, I'm getting older. I'm not that good and everything." But yeah. And then I noticed, and there was like Ramsey Bukrime was in the peak. He dropped in on me because I took off on 1 too deep. I shouldn't have probably taken off because I wasn't even near the pocket.
And who else was out there that I saw? Then Benjamin Sanchez come out, old Sancho. And I was like, I knew straight away I'd gone to the wrong spot because then there was 50 other hanger-oners and it was just stacks on the mill.
Yeah. Sounds like my
All
work.
that to say, down the beach, another spot which is quite famous, Le Grave. I can't give it away. There were 7 guys out, and apparently it was really good and fun.
Probably everyone's probably searching for the quiet spot, and then the busy spot gets quiet.
It's just gnarly. I'm not going for another early. It's not worth it. The new early is the late, and the new offshore is onshore until September. Until September.
Yeah.
Okay, J Bay.
J Bay. The forecast looks pretty good.
That's what I wanted to say. You're the super geek because I've hooked into Surfline. I'm talking all night, folks, but it's half mine, this podcast. I've hooked into Surfline. I've got a year. Matty, they gave me 1 month free. I put it on the business account. Shh.
So did I.
Yeah. Shh. Don't tell anyone. So, like I can say, I'm looking for my guests who don't even know what a wave is anyway. But it looks like the first day is good and then it gets small. Am I right? And then a few days later it gets bigger.
Yeah. So I reckon they're going to go women's and then men's. Like maybe
on
run
the first day.
Maybe run the whole
first. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not being misogenic, but there's more heats to run on the men.
Yeah, or they'll just do the whole women's event and wait completely.
On the first day. That'd be a good idea.
Well, not just a pretty boat race.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Listeners, that's a fucking good idea, Matt. Run the whole women on that first day in one bang.
Yeah.
That way they don't split shit up.
Yeah. And then
Have you thought about going for CEO?
I have, and then I don't know if they could afford me.
But no one wants you.
I just don't think they could afford it.
You're going to charge them 20K and unlimited free surfboards.
Geez, the hate that you'd get for any decision wouldn't be worth like.
Oh, they could hate on me all they wanted to, mate. One rat's ass.
You'd wind them up on
3 years, retire on it. Set your own Instagram up account.
Yeah, true.
What's the forecast then for you? First day good and then a few days off.
Yeah, I mean it's still saying 3 to 5 foot, which is going to be like decent. And then I think by the weekend it's looking really good again, like 5 to 8.
The forecast was looking lame, but I don't know if Surfline knows what they're doing. Sorry for that, yawn, listeners.
Yeah, I don't know either because like 3 to 5 foot to me is amazing, but then if it's 3 to 5 foot, like you just don't know what scale they're using, do you? Like
whose 3 to 5 foot is it? Jordy's?
Yeah.
Or Felipe's?
Exactly.
I'm throwing my call out now. I just want Jordy to win it.
Oh, that'd be so. I want Jordy to win.
I don't think he's going to unless it's 6 foot. I don't think he's going to unless it's 6 foot. Let's be honest. But I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I reckon Jordy to win on a Morris Cole would be pretty sick. I know Morris.
Jordy to win. Jordy.
So yeah, go on then.
So it would be a good win for him. Against who? Against who would make him happy? Against a Brazilian?
Yeah, against Medina because he said he
against.
can't.
Oh, I was going to say that.
He said he
Jordy
can't.
Medina takes him out. No, Jordy Italo.
All that he wrote
after he flagged him off on Stub.
Yeah. Who do you like? Start with the women's. Who do you reckon's going to win, and who's a wild card?
In the women,
yeah,
I think Steph's probably got the best. I think she's the best surfer out there, but I don't know if she can win it. I'm going to throw a wild card out there. I'm going to say Lakey Peterson for some reason. I hope the guy's not Tati. Even though I saw a wave of Tati on the. They did a video of the. There's an hour video of all the 9s and up. That's a really good video to watch if you've got time. But I think Steph is my favourite, but I think Lakey Peterson's a really... no, she's my underdog.
Okay. My
I don't know about Katie or Betty Lou.
Yeah, my underdog is going to be Betty Lou.
It's a really hard wave.
Yeah.
I've seen rookies, as they like to call them, the Americans. Rookies, I'll call them. I'm not going to use that word again. I'm going to say apprentices. I've seen apprentices just stumble.
Am I allowed 2 wild cards? Because I reckon Betty
Of course
Lou,
you can. You can have 6, mate. It's your podcast.
I reckon another one to watch out for is Joanne Defay.
Yeah, no chance, mate. No chance. No chance in the world. Sorry,
you know me.
Joanne.
All of my eggs are going straight into Steph's basket.
Like Joanne's a great surfer, but we're talking J-Bay winner here.
Yeah, she's good. She's usually
name to me some J-Bay winning men.
Who I think's going to win?
No, previous winners.
Oh, previous. I mean, Joel Parkinson, Tom Curran.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kelly's won it multiple times. Mick's won it multiple times. Jordy's won it twice in a row. Felipe, you can't forget Felipe's double air. He won it back to back as well, I think. Obviously, John's won it, I think.
Don't think so. On that list, you've said any of those dudes like underdogs? Any of them?
Well,
no.
I
only win it if you're a prime alpha.
Yeah. Joel Parkinson won it as a wild card.
Or alpha. How do you say alpha for a female? Or alpha, is alpha sexless?
I believe so.
There you go. So we can call it an alpha female.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of backlash from my wife in the background who heard the use of the word alpha. It's going to say alpha male, which it's often linked to.
Well, that's why I think it's sexless, because you could say alpha male or alpha female, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not the police on this. But Joel Parkinson won it as a wild card. So
17-year-old.
Yeah. So, but I
think Mick won it 3 times.
Yeah. I think
you got to be fast. You got to have the moves.
I think John's going to win it this year.
I think that'd be would be great, wouldn't it?
I'd love it.
John Jordy final. They've been long-time rivals.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's going to be them 2 in the final.
No, I reckon going slightly under the radar with it. I reckon
Felipe Italo final.
No, I reckon John's going to beat Griffin in the final. Yeah.
Griff, I'm not going to say I don't think he can make the final, because I think he can, but I'm not thinking about him, but that's only because I don't have him in my team.
And my wild card for this event to do like quarterfinals or semis, I'm going Leo.
Oh, Leo's a great surfer at J-Bay. He's been going there since he was like 14.
Yeah.
It's Belly's favourite place in the world. He used to come back and go, what a fucking place. Take your family there. Take your family. Like, because, you go out in the safari.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
It's been gentrified. Is that how you pronounce it?
Gentrified.
I pronounce it gentrified. So there you go. It's been gentrified, old J-Bay.
It sounds like it. When you say that, it sounds like John's taken over.
Gentrified, yeah. There's this really good video that I got onto off Swellnet from this dude who's got a house there, and he's one of the older locals. It's actually really good. I'll try and send it to you and put it in the link for this.
Yeah.
And really good. And you see like the lineup and walking up the steps, and a couple of really good drone flyovers of it, and you see some houses, man. They're just sick.
Yeah.
And Gracie went there when there was no one there.
Yeah.
No one.
Well, I listened to a story with Ronnie and Vaughan Blakey, and their dad, I forgot what their dad's name is now. Alfie.
Yes. Yeah. Wait till we get Gracie on to talk about J-Bay. Let's get him on.
Yeah. So they say about their dad, he fled Australia so he didn't have to go to Vietnam, and lived in the dunes at J-Bay. It's like madness. So sick.
What would you pick? Go to war or
Yeah.
hang at J Bay?
Can I ask you this? This might sound like a silly question, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If you could go, like, say someone took you there and like you're there for 2 weeks or whatever, would you surf it?
What, J Bay?
Yeah.
What sort of question is that?
Well, like just because
You
of
know
sharks.
that I'm scared because I'm scared of sharks.
No, well, not that, but everyone should be scared of sharks. If you're not, you're weird
But why would you not surf it then?
because of sharks.
Oh yeah, well that's probably one of the reasons that's put me off. Wow, I've never been able to go there for some reason. I mean, you think you should be able to just make something possible,
It's a hard
but
place to get to, isn't it?
yeah, I'm just calling. I think because there's a really good lot of surfers in the water there. It's not my first pick because
Mm.
I don't think I'm going to get a lot of good waves out there. Like you'd like to, but I think you need more than 2 weeks. Put it that way. I think it's still possible. If I wanted to go to J-Bay, it'd be like 2 months.
Yeah.
Because then you'd start getting into the rhythm and you'd probably start getting a couple of sets and guys might let you get it. And I'd take my 7.7 so
Yeah.
that if something bumped me, I had a bit of juice underneath me.
All right.
But it'd scare me shitless. But, if it's
Yeah.
pumping, you're out there, dude. You're just straight out there. It's pumping. You kind of forget it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a hellman with sharks. No way in the world. But I did surf Galapagos by myself on this reef where a guide told me there'd been a shark attack and there kept being turtles come out of the water and stuff. It was a bit, but the surf was pumping and there was no one out. And I was like, how many chances do you get like that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
South Australia or
No.
South Africa.
Yeah. I surfed at Bells and Torquay and stuff, but I like looked up beforehand and there's like never been a shark attack there.
No,
It's all
they're all
happens in
right,
Adelaide.
which is strange.
Yeah. But
A shark attack at Snapper, mate.
yeah. Who are you picking to win, JB?
I'm not picking one. I can't pick it. Sorry, I can't pick it. It's a I can't pick contest. I can't pick because Toledo's name just keeps coming up in the back of my mind. I just keep thinking there's no way they're not going to get skunked again. It's going to be 3 foot J Bay, and I don't know if anyone can beat him at 3 foot J Bay.
Yeah,
I think Ethan could,
and Griff could
just sit there like a I told you, Zoolander model.
Yeah,
and wait for the right wave. Toledo get a 7 and then an 8. Then you do about 6 hours and get a 12.
Yeah. What was it? The
Can't pick a winner until you know what size it's going to be. It's 4 to 6 foot. I'm calling Ethan, Jordy, and John.
Okay, and I'm calling
Gabrielle.
If Felipe
Griff
semi-finals or better, he will be injured for Chopu.
Could be because he's already got a niggler, hasn't he? What's he got?
Apparently, he's got a knee and a bad back.
A knee. Is it all been set up? This
potentially,
he's set it up.
Yeah,
he'll limp through a few heats, bend over, get through to the semis, which means he's qualified. He wouldn't do that, would he? Miss out on 12-foot Chopu, best Chopu in WSL's history,
and
then win 3-foot trestles.
There's a chance he could.
2 times world champ.
My prediction.
And Elo nowhere to be seen.
Moving on swiftly from WSL talk. If you haven't, this is completely without notice for you. Have you seen the Shaun Manners Cult to Freedom part?
Oh yes, sick. Massive frontside straight airs, eh?
Holy moly.
Massive.
His ankles, like I watched it and my ankles hurt. Like my legs hurt. I was like, Jesus, what are you doing to yourself?
So watch it again. He's an incredible surfer. Trust me. Incredible. Insane backside, frontside tube rider, massive in the air. Watch it again and watch when he goes for frontside like wraps, which
Yeah.
he's really good at too. And then compare that to a Mick or an Ethan or John. And I'm not saying anything against him. I'm just saying, see how hard it is to be good at doing those things, which is why they need to be scored accordingly as well.
Yeah. It's weird that you said that because I was watching it and I was watching his backside. He does like these backside, like I call them like wipes because he comes up vertical, but then it's not like he doesn't snap it straight back down vertical. It's kind of like he then comes up and then like slides it and wipes it. It's a bit weird.
It's a hook.
But
they're great. Man, he's insane. I'm just saying, like, look, put it this way.
No, I hear you.
Airs, like his frontside airs, you get that? They're as good as Toledo's.
Yeah.
They're as good as anyone's, those things. So, but his other things aren't. So, sure, you can score big on Toledo or Gabriel or Italo's big ears, where they should. They should have given Italo a bigger score on that air at Margie's, but there's no worries that they should also score Ethan or even Griff massively for the incredibly technical and aesthetic hacks they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying about that, about Shaun Manners' front side and even just the lines he takes and stuff. It just makes you appreciate both sides of it really as well, doesn't it? Like we get free surfing, we get competitive surfing, we get it all. And I appreciate it all.
Oh, he's got a really good setup because he's from West Australia to start from, and his dad's a shaper there, from all I can understand. Yeah, and he was pretty highly sponsored young, so it's got a great canvas. It's like you see really good Hawaiian kids. If they're prepared to give it a dig, they can really make a career for themselves. Can I quickly cut you off on that? Did you see the tragic news of Mikala Jones passing away?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that. It's absolutely horrendous news.
Horrendous. Shows you how, and I don't know how it didn't happen or it doesn't happen more often, but it shows you how gnarly surfing is. But can you imagine how many times he's got incredibly death-defying, waves, and that's what death-defying means. He's defying death. So, you can't obviously. Yeah. Well, some people do play with fire their whole life, but surfing's really dangerous on coral reefs and things like that. And there you go. There's a reminder.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like he was, by all accounts, like everyone's like saying he's amazing. Obviously, his surfing was amazing. Like he got barreled so much, and like it's a harsh. I don't mean this to sound harsh, but like it's a reminder that like look at what you leave behind. He's obviously like it's
but that was kind of his career as well. Huh?
Yeah, but by the sounds of things, he left a massive impact on a lot of people's lives in a positive way, which it's funny that it kind of comes out at the same time. I just read and listened to the Mikala Grace interview about after.
Yeah.
And he said it almost sounds like he's talking about himself as if he's dead. And he's saying like how he was happy that he'd left such a positive impact on quite a lot of people's lives if he would have died that day, like after the response of people. And it seems like the same with this instance as well, which is just tragic. Am I right in saying
there's a lot of gnarly Indo warriors out there, man.
Yeah.
Like gnarly. Like a friend of mine was telling me one time when he was in G-Land, what happened? He was watching people charge. Helicopter guy took a guy out of there.
Yeah.
Like just you come unstuck on the reef, and who's to say that the second last wave that Mikala got wasn't? How do we know? Maybe it was the best wave of his life.
Yeah.
I heard it was cooking. Someone said it was 6 to 8 foot and cooking. So he went out in style, and it sounds like it went pretty quick.
And how, like, from did he, was it the fin or was it the reef that he hit?
I'm not sure. But broke his femur or cut his femoral artery. And
Yeah.
this is why I was having a bit of Instagram message tennis with Bradley, because he snapped his femur out at Bourdain's towing with Belly one year, and it was only 6 to 8 foot, and he kind of got a lip over the back of his head going backside and broke his femur, and they brought him in on the beach and took him in the ambulance, and he was all right. So it just, like, if your day's your day, your day's your day. So
Yeah.
R.I.P. Mikala.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's heavy news. It's sad news. So, and all the best to his family as well, because he's left a family behind that, has to live with it, live through it as well, which is probably even harder.
Yeah, their dad was a hero. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now, on another completely different about face, there was another thing I wanted to ask you, which I've been watching on Beach Crit, is that Jonah. What's his
Jonah Hill.
second name? Jonah Hill, the actor dude who likes surfing now and sounds a bit of a twat. His ex-girlfriend, like, has outed him and stuff, and like, I thought that was a bit of a suck, and I see a few people thinking it is a bit of a suck that 2 years later your girlfriend pulls out these messages and stuff like that. But then when you see one of the messages, I just think, was that festering in her mind for 2 years? How fucking ridiculous that message he sent to her was.
Yeah.
And she just had enough and woke up one morning and said, "No!" and posted it. Or he said, "Don't go surfing with other guys.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Don't do."
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it down on paper that he's a wanker anyway.
Yeah, like, I don't know him or whatever, but you got to be some level of insecure and some level of, like, controlling, manipulative, like, dickhead, because you can't say that. Like, you can't say to someone, don't go surf with guys. What was one of them was like, don't post pictures of yourself in a bikini and stuff like that. It's like, fuck you. Just because you're a fat piece of shit doesn't mean you have to bring everyone else down.
It was like, I'm not 100% for the G-string Instagram crowd, or the dudes with shirts off Instagram crowd. But, like, whatever.
If you're comfortable doing it, you're comfortable doing it. Like, if you're not, then what have I done?
They're not going to not do it because I'm saying I'm not going to tell them not to do it.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I'm going to have to get moving, Matt. We've got an amazing episode coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, we will have. Loads and loads coming up. Before you go, because I pre-prepared it, have you got any do's and don'ts? If not, I do.
Don't go for the early in France in summer. Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it for the other crew. Go for the mid-morning and the lady, which is what I should have done tonight.
Yeah.
I got caught in the cafe for 10 hours straight making acai bowls, which is all good. Love an acai bowl. Don't go for the early. Some places it's better to go for the mid-morninger, unless you got a job. Sorry, listeners, for that. But I've got a job.
Yeah.
And do surf all your surfboards instead of buying new ones. I'll give it to you, Matt. Pass the button.
Yeah. So my
you look like Damien from The Omen there in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know what I've done to my camera.
That's all right.
My don't is don't use coloured wax. I saw a couple of people this weekend with like the cheap wax where it's like blue or bright pink.
Ah, it's sucky, isn't it?
Fuck, it's horrible. Don't use it. You
Makes your board look all
freak.
gammy as well.
Yeah, just looks horrible. And I've got two do's. Both are from my heart, but also shameless plugs. So do go and get one of Darren's acai bowls from Pure because they are sick. I've been craving one since last July. And do get yourself a shorty from Need Essentials because like it's so sick, like surfing with freedom and just less. And do you know the biggest thing
So
about
you're
it?
calling a shorty, it's a short arm, short leg.
Mine was a long arm, short leg.
Long arm, short leg. That's the best, the long arm, short leg.
Yeah.
I had a short arm, short leg today. Yours is a long arm, springy.
Yeah.
But I love a springy. I've always loved a springy. Pipsy used to laugh at me about that. I could write stories about springies. It's the best wetty there is.
For sure. And the unsung hero part of that wetsuit is taking it off. You don't have to like rip your feet through it. It just comes.
You don't have to rip your feet through it. I'm size 47. And it keeps your tackle intact.
Yeah.
And keeps you out of rash. And you don't have to put sunscreen on your back.
It's the ones. Right, sweet Daz. We'll speak
Thanks,
soon.
mate.
Au revoir, people.